Hi guys, so I wanted to throw out another video that showed some mods that I think are worth getting, whether or not you're setting up a server or if you're just running single player. These are ones that are actually really useful if you're running any sort of high level, potential level ups for your dinos, or any high level total modification or total conversion. So for example, if you're the old Anunnaki or something like that, or whatever Anunnaki is now, Extinction Core I think. Whatever that is, that often allows you to take your levels really high. Now, there is a problem if you can take your levels above 256 on a dino. If you put all 256 points into a single stat, you will reset that stat and cause problems with the dino. So the first of these is just called Level Up Counter. And it's, as you can see here, it's called Level Up Counter. And it just costs one patch to do. It's not cheaty at all. But what it does allow you to do is it keeps track of that. And so I'm just going to show you how this works. So let me go and force tame something. I'm sure I saw a trike around here. Oh, that'll do. All you do is you throw it onto your creature like this, press E on it. Now when I sit on this creature, as you can see, it's now got that buff in the top right hand corner. Now I'm just going to add a load of experience. Right, so here we go. Just added a ton of experience into here. This even. And now as I level this up, what you're going to see, you can see that I'm actually keeping track of how many points are going into health, into stamina, things like that. That is all this does, and like I say, it's not cheaty, but it's incredibly useful if you're running any sort of high level setup at all, because you really don't want to be resetting your dino stats. Right, okay, so that's the first of these ones. Nice easy little mod there, worth getting, worth using. The second of these mods though is potentially very cheaty, but if you don't use one part of it, it's actually quite well balanced. This is Dino Aid. So let me just bring up what that is. So in the mod of the Dino Aid, you get 4 different types of things you can feed to your dino. The first one is just called Dino Aid. And I've had to write these down on a bit of paper here so I can remember. Okay, so the aid, just regular Dino Aid here, which as you can see, rare mushrooms, raw prime meat, tinto berries and fibre. That will give you 4,000 health over the course of 10 minutes. That's actually quite useful. That's not too badly balanced. Now, if you actually look at the fight fuel, this one will give you 5,000 over a short period of time, which is also really useful if you're going into a fight, especially if you're doing anything that's got bosses in it and things like that. This is something, and I think that's fairly well balanced. That's quite a high cost there. Now, this Dino Aid Mega has got a really high cost, and that will instantly heal any dino up to maximum health. Now, the one on this that is potentially very cheaty is Dino Aid X, because this will also completely heal up any dino. So let me just grab a copy of each of these. Just put a bit of paper back now. Right, okay, so let me just throw one of these each on here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm just going to throw the Dino Aid on it. Let's take this health up a bit more. Let's take this health all the way up, shall we? Or almost all the way up. There we go, that'll do. Okay, so now if I just throw a regular Dino Aid on there, as you'll see, it's just a quicker way of leveling up. It's almost like you're just feeding it the whole time. Quite useful. Very good if you've got, say, for example, some high-level dinos on your server or on your single player, and you just want to be able to level them, heal them up a bit quicker rather than just sit there with your finger on the food button. Now, if you put the fight fuel on there, you'll see that the speed at which that goes is very quick indeed. And it doesn't take long at all for that to go in there. So once again, that's really not too cheaty for the cost that it takes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a little bit more on there. Right, so there we go. We've got the health up here to this. Now, as you see, Dino Aid Mega. I almost tried to eat myself. Instant heal. And now what I've tamed over there is a Bronto. So let me just go and sort that out. And now, as you can see, same thing here. If I use the Dino Aid X, exactly the same thing. Instantly heals it all the way up. So that Dino Aid X is what makes this potentially cheaty. So you might want to disable that in your engrams if you don't really want to be cheaty. But these ones here, I think they're actually fairly well balanced. Let's go and have a look at those again. I actually think these are fairly well balanced. Now, the reason I'm saying you might want to look at these is I've found that if you go for any sort of total conversion or anything that uses really high level dinos, if you don't go for the specific levels sort of ranges they set for it. If you want to make it harder, then I find that things don't actually balance really well. Especially when you're talking about things that are going into the millions of health, then it becomes really annoying when you've got stuff that is literally only made for hundreds of thousands of health, and you have to just keep going through it, and it's ridiculously expensive to make as well. Whereas these things here, they have a high cost, but they're worth it. You know, obviously it might not scale. These two might not scale. The ones that just give you X amount over time, they might not scale so well for those ones. But having this Dino Mega Raid, we have found is really useful, especially if you're combining mods. We've run Prone with Pugnacia before, and we found that both of them, when we just sort of went at ridiculously high levels, neither of their raids worked perfectly at all. Like, none of them worked in any shape or form for the levels we were looking at, which is why I'd recommend maybe looking at this one. Now, the last of these mods is just pure cheaty, but it's so much fun. This is called the Dino Pick Up, and you make this pickup relic, as you can see, quite cheaply, fibre, flint, hide and thatch, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It allows you to pick up a dino like it's a shoulder pet. So let me find this here. Here we go, Dino Pick Up relic. Really, I don't have those. Okay. That moment when you're in God mode and you still don't have the stuff to make something. Right, okay, spawn myself one of these in. Now what you do with this pickup relic is you go to a dino, you put it in their inventory, and then you press E on it. There we go, that's done. You can take it out of its inventory then. And once you've done that, you get this ability to pick it up. And then you end up with a baby dino on your shoulder. Oh, it's so freaking cute. And not only that, it will fight for you. So let's set that not to follow. Let's go find something. And it will fight as dangerously as if it was a full-size dino. So let me see if I can find this. Let's find something to hurt me. That sounds so masochistic. Oh, here we go. Right, okay, some compies. So if I attack them... Oh, it's not working. It might be... Okay, let me turn off God mode. Oh, it doesn't seem to be working. Apparently it only works on things that got AoE, but then again, you just do that. Oh, that is ridiculously funny. So that is really useful. But as you can imagine, it is ridiculously cheaty because you can just literally go into any dungeon with any dino on your shoulder that you want. Like, you could go into a dungeon with a Giga on your shoulder, or a Wyvern, or whatever you want to do, and just, yeah, foobar stuff. Now, what I thought was going to work there is because the Bonto does have such a big AoE, I thought it'd actually hit things from the shoulder. It doesn't seem to. But if you have things that actually do have a specific AoE attack, like a Wyvern or something like that, if you got it on your shoulder, it should actually do the AoE attack while it's on your shoulder. It certainly works for mods like Prone, which is really annoying because Gary the Giga on Prone had this massive AoE attack, and it was so annoying. So of course I always used it. Right guys, so that is 3 mods that are worth looking into. Like I said, the first one isn't cheaty at all. It's just a useful mod to have. The second one, and if you don't remove that Dino X, it is a little bit cheaty. But get rid of that, and it's actually I think it's a very well balanced mod. Very useful if you're not running things in the level caps where you're expected to. And the final one, the Dino Pickup mod, that's just for shits and giggles, and it's really fun, and I definitely think it's worth trying it out at least once. I hope you guys found this useful. I will be putting up more mods. I just don't really want to spam them out too quickly, but I hope you guys found this useful. Catch you all soon. Have fun. Bye. So I'm sure we all know that YouTube has kind of screwed over us small creators at the moment. If you feel inclined to pressing that subscribe button, I will love your face so hard. So hard. Wait, that sounds wrong. Or does it sound right?